Hello and welcome back to an episode of Marvel Mad. I'm your host always, Dwayne the Captain Coffee, and we have another Marvel review. And this one is probably one of the most diverse entries into the MCU so far. And it is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. A film that promised everything, really, and maybe delivered a few variants. It just didn't work, in my opinion. Now, released in May 2022 and directed by Sam Raimi, the legend himself, this film was hyped up as a game-changing entry into the multiverse saga, with WandaVision setting up the stage and Spider-Man No Way Home just blowing the multiverse door just wide open. Expectations were really high, especially for a film called Multiverse of Madness. But what we got was a mix of horror vibes, some really cool, trippy sort of visuals, some really big cameos, and we'll talk about. But ultimately, the film just barely scratched the surface of what a multiverse the Marvel universe has. We've seen it in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and stuff like that. So if they can do it in cameo in animation, surely they could have done something magnificent in this. But it just didn't. Well, to be fair, there were some cool moments and there were some cool visuals and things that happened. Sam Raimi's horror flair brought a refreshing tone to the MCU now. Seeing Wanda's turn as the Scarlet Witch now, haunting and brutal, was really, really nice now. Seeing Elizabeth Olsen was on fire, stealing the film as a vengeful, broken Wanda, and her character development in this, for me, really worked, because seeing that sort of shift in her was really, really nice. And I was expecting more, but it was a really nice sort of take for it. And then Benedict Cumberbatch still delivers as a Doctor Strange, especially with the dark alternative versions of himself in this film as well. It was really, really nice. There's some cool fight scenes in this film, especially against himself, and the musical notes. Well, I'll always remember that musical notes fight scene, because I thought that was just brilliantly done. It really, really was. And of course, that Illuminati scene, a huge fan service, seeing Patrick Stewart back as Professor X in the proper yellow, from the cartoon series wheelchair. That was just awesome to see in that again, I will butcher this name, so I do apologise that John Krasinski, John as Reed Richards. That was really, really nice, and seeing these little blue square come down and seeing him, I was just yeah. And then seeing Captain Carter as well, I was yes, I loved that, absolutely loved that. And then again, seeing Black Bolt as well. Now, I was never a fan of the series. The series for me was atrocious, and the only good thing to come out of the series was Lockjaw. But seeing Black Bolt in it as well, I was this is going to be brilliant, And then they have a big fight with Wanda, and they all get decimated, brutally killed, which was cool to see, getting them all just killed off and that But I was come on, you could have done so much more on that with them. You didn't need to. I know it was supposed to show how brutal Wanda was and how much of a killing path she was on, but crying out loud, come on. For a film called Multiverse of Madness, in the title, it didn't nearly go enough into that sort of side of it. We barely explored a handful of the universes now. We probably explored 2, maybe 3, I think. But that was it. I was what's the point of calling it a multiverse then? I only threw a couple. American Chavez, even though she was an important character in the film, sort of felt a bit undeveloped, and I know she's going to be an important character going forward as well. But, I don't know. I'd either like to see a different character, or I'd like to see more of a sort of thing. I was just, Wanda wanted to absorb all the powers and stuff from her, but come on. And all in all, really, it felt more like a Wanda Series 2 than a proper Doctor Strange sequence. I know Wanda was supposed to be the central figure and she wants the power to get her kids back and blah blah blah, but you could have easily done that in a season 2 of WandaVision. really in that lot. Like the pacing was just rushed and all over the shop. The stakes were like confusing. 1 minute you wanted to save the kid and then 1 minute like Wanda's going to sacrifice herself. Well, sacrifice herself because I still don't think she's dead. It was just all over the place. Like the resolution as well. Like them all escaping and Wanda bringing the temple down where the Darkhold was made on herself as well. And you see that little red blip. For me, she's not dead. She's no way dead at all. You can't kill the Scarlet Witch like that. Not a chance. She's too all-powering for something that stupid. It's just, even though Wanda's arc was tragic and a lot, but it does undo all the development she made in WandaVision. And Strange's growth, it was hardly there. You couldn't pin down anything while all the chaos was going off. And then again, we come to this post-credit scene calamity. It's just, you get it right again. I will butcher names, I'm sorry. Charlesy Theon shows up as Clea, opening up a portal to the Dark Dimension, teasing Doctor Strange's third eye, which I thought was really cool in that art, and a new like cosmic threat coming. But it should have been hyped up to hell. But again, years and years later, no payoff. Another Marvel breadcrumb that's just going to go stale because nothing's going to come from it again. That lot. Like, he's supposed to be a big central figure coming up to Doomsday and Secret Wars. How do you even know he's going to turn back up? He's in the Dark Dimension fighting this thing with Clea. It's just so frustrating. So frustrating. But Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, had the pieces to be something just brilliant. Even teased it at the end of the last film, like a little trailer thing for itself. But there was just nothing. Multiversal chaos, dark magic, character cameos, but it still didn't click for me in that lot. And instead of redefining the MCU with all these places they could go, it just felt like another side quest with a bit of like Sam Raimi sort of spice sprinkled on top. It was a decent time at the movies, but a massive missed opportunity for what they was trying to do and what they could have done. But again, that's just my take on it all now. What did you think of Marvel's The Multiverse of Madness? Did it deliver for you? Did it do enough? Or did it just fall flat? Let me know in the comment section below now. Like, share and subscribe and all that jazz and that lot. And we'll see you all next time on another episode of Marvel Mad. Thanks a lot guys and see you soon.